Yeah. Got it out, used it for 2, and then had to close it back down. This week has been so much fun. But now we're just audio. I think that's Steph. My iPad doesn't work anymore, so I don't have my little ability to like write notes and stuff, but I can read at least. But hi, Steph. How are you? Very excited. We have people today. Like, nobody's been coming lately, and I'm like, where is everybody? So I appreciate you guys coming over.
We would have come last week, but I have raccoons, and one of them was really sick, and we had to emergency trip it out to the animal hospital.
Oh yeah, no, that would be a priority for sure.
Yes.
For sure. So as you know from watching, we do the first 20 to 30 minutes-ish, just audio, so that's where we are now. And we've changed all of our... I'm also excited about that. We've changed all of our screens and our whole thing. So we're taking it to the next level.
Nice.
Whatever that level is. If I can get this open.
Find out eventually.
Yeah, we'll one day we'll know. It's this one. Little Tree Sap, good morning. Paranormal Witch, good morning. Y'all are fun. Dragon Dancer is physically with us.
Hello.
It's so weird not having my iPad to like kind of do stuff with. Oh, I forgot. Ha. Dragon Dancer is physically with us. Did I never turn my speaker off? It's so weird not having my iPad. Oh, that's right, because usually my phone is playing the music. And unfortunately, that makes me sad.
What you looking at?
Hi, Gigi.
Hi.
She has so many names she doesn't know.
Yeah, we have a pup dog at home.
She is a floof
We have a
dog.
husky.
I love huskies.
We also have a Dutch Shepherd who is short hair.
Not that you know about it now, she sheds.
Don't know what a Dutch Shepherd is.
They're
I know what
not
shepherds
common
generally are.
breed.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of that.
The husky unfortunately came from an abusive house and is still very, very shy.
When we first got Sorsha, who was the Dutch Shepherd, we thought she was a mixed breed because we had never heard of it
Yeah.
either.
Making the
I have never heard of that one. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
making the coffee.
I hope you have champagne. That's an important part of the day.
Where do you want to sit, Sage?
I have an extra stool over there too.
Sit there? And that's-
I think if you sit like anywhere in this area, you'll probably be good on video. And I'm going to move this anyway because this is just something I want to show. That you know who made that?
Joy's daughter?
Sure did.
I love her so.
Yeah.
Someday
Where
I'll be able
can-
to afford some of it.
Where can I sit to be on video?
That we can probably roll that chair right where Fiji is. So right here, you should be able to. You might have to come a little closer. I don't know. But we're not on video yet. We're only on audio.
It's just audio.
So now just hearing us. And this microphone actually does a pretty good job of picking up anywhere in this room. So, I mean, you can even sit in the back and watch.
I'll probably sit like right here.
Okay, but again, you've got to behave. You can't be interrupting
I
everybody.
gotta behave too.
Or you'll be...
Brian's the one that has to
Outside.
behave.
It's usually me. That's why I like going back and forth to this channel or to this screen so that I can beat them up in between.
Are you being horribly abused?
Yeah.
How rude.
Mentally, emotionally.
Screw you.
I love your white fluff dog.
Oh, me too. Oh, and our kissing, courting, hugging, loving, whatever chairs they are that we got from the antique show store thing. So far, we're from the Cauldron Ridge.
Hey, Steph.
So, Steph, what time are you going live? Me too.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, and our... Paranormal Witch is in the house. Little Tree Sap said good morning earlier.
Ooh. You've been
Dragon
up
Dancer
early.
is not in the chat. That's terrible.
I know, what am I thinking? I could be.
Dragon Dancer is here.
Oh, that's funny. Among others, we have others. I don't know. I'm not going to announce anybody that doesn't want to announce themselves. So you can announce yourself as you feel, whatever
Do
to
you
do.
want to announce yourself, Sage?
Chihuahua.
You're a Chihuahua.
Works for me.
Okay, works for me.
And we have Chihuahua, or as I like to call it, Chihuahua. Chihuahua. I don't know why they spell it.
From the
that.
Cauldron Witch Tarot, we'll be going live at 11:30 Cali
You
time.
can join if you want.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
So
When we go with video, we might have to move the camera around a little bit too. So usually I can move it up and it'll capture the whole room. So like even if you're sitting in the back and all that, it gets everybody.
Can we
Sage, you missed a huge.
11:30 California time, I think would be what 3:30 our time.
I think so.
2:30 maybe.
2:30 or 3:30.
2:30, I think. I think
Yeah.
it's 2:30.
We for sure will be out by then. I'll probably join for a little bit, but
Yeah.
today's going to be a fun day. I think Malice Experience will be doing a makeup show today around 7 o'clock. I will probably not be on it as we prepare for the week.
I have to travel for work. I hate traveling for work.
Try doing it every week.
Well, I won't. That's why I don't. I'm going to Orlando through Wednesday for work, so it's always
2:30.
fun.
What? Your dog's fur is so deep I can almost bury my hand in it.
You probably can if you can get your hands in. I don't know if the Huskies are the same, but you can get in and feel that undercoat.
Yeah.
It just is like cashmere. It's so smooth.
Our Huskies just shedding globs of hair all over the house.
Claws.
Just
Globs.
of hair.
Oh, gloves.
Yeah,
Globs of
claws of
hair.
hair, Brad. Claws of hair.
Like sometimes you do find claws.
Yes, usually from
What's
the other
the-
one though.
I find claws, but I don't really find claws of hair.
I was missing the hair part.
Blowing her coat.
Obvious.
All over the house. Oh my goodness.
A lot of husky hair from our husky.
Yeah, I know. Even the short versus long-haired ones, the short-haired ones are just as bad. Like you just, it is what it is.
That's one of the reasons we picked the other dog, Sorsha. Oh, she's
Didn't
short
help.
hair. No, but she's got the undercoat too because they come from, I think, what was it? Was it Sweden, Sage, or
I
something
think
like
so.
that? So they're also in the cold. So even though she's short hair, she's got that really dense undercoat.
What if someone
Hey,
asks
Paranormal
me
Witch.
a question?
I'm
Then
late.
you
I'm
can
catching
answer.
up. Hey,
Absolutely.
little tree set.
You just can't be interrupting everybody while they're talking.
It usually, like I said, we're used to having our thing where we can actually keep track a little bit better, but we don't have that.
Oh, the tablet.
Yeah, I don't know where my other pen went to write with, but it's gone. Who cares? Okay, whatever. All right, I guess as normally we do, right? We will talk about a couple of things before we get our video set up. I'm gonna smoke us out here. Okay, maybe not smoke us out. That's the wrong choice of words.
Ooh, tomorrow y'all are doing a live show. What time tomorrow, Steph?
Tina's
Oh,
mad.
Tuesday. Tuesday. What time Tuesday?
I might put my own video on YouTube.
You should. I know a couple people that do. I think Connor's still putting stuff up too.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Saw something the other day.
And just let me know what time Tuesday your live is. If I'm not in the conference, I'd like to bring it up.
She's kissing.
Stop petting me. Lick me some more. Lick
She's
me some more.
kissing.
Oh, God. My brain isn't working well either.
Yeah, it's not supposed to on Sundays, I don't think.
No, we got up earlier than usual to come out here, and then the woman who brings me the animals
5 p.m.
stopped
Okay.
by right when we were pulling
Okay.
out of the driveway to get one of the cages. I talked to her for a little bit.
It's never fun.
Yeah,
Always fun, but never fun.
yes.
Because that usually leads to more and more people. Like once we
Thank you. I will definitely see if I can bring up Friday. It'll be 8
we
p.m.
had
my
a
time.
ferret rescue
I'm
in
gonna try to
Virginia that we
join.
volunteered at. and
Tuesday.
Once
5
one
on
person just
YouTube.
she went from like 3 to 300 in like a week and a half.
Oh yeah.
Because it just that was crazy. I felt bad
had,
for her.
oh my goodness.
Do
We
you know-
have like 15 babies almost at one point.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
crazy.
Whoa, why did my chair go
Because it's
up?
adjustable.
How do you get the chair to go back down though?
Pull the handle, I think.
You pull up on the
I think there's only one.
And that's private, right?
I can't remember
From
you
the
pull it or
Cauldron
push it
Witch.
or what. But
don't
it
know.
might be down all
Healing
the way.
Rituals private
Because they only go like that. I mean, it's a very short adjust.
Oh, it just kind of jumped up on it.
You're okay.
Well, I don't have that problem. My weight keeps it from going up. It's only going down with me.
Right.
What?
The chairs.
Oh,
Every once
yeah,
in a while, the
mine.
black one does that to me too, and it's just like you're here and just thunk. I've never had it go up. That's for sure. Start with your book that you're reading.
Well, I
Since
haven't really
I have
read
the
much
video on.
this week, but I'm had started beginning Luciferian magic. I really like it. It's it's one of those books that gets into the basics, but it has a lot of the rituals, which personally I would rather just read the basics before reading about the rituals. But it's got like at least 10 rituals in there, so those I kind of have to stop and
That's your dog, you know.
pace because it's just it's not easy reading, but it's a good book. I like it.
That's your dog yelling.
Which one?
Tinta.
Oh,
She's
she's
mad.
mad. She can come
Can
out
we
in a
hold
minute.
the chihuahuas
She
soon?
mad.
Yes.
Yeah, she can.
They'll come out
in a
after they
bit.
calm down a bit.
Even though they seem to calm down pretty much.
Yeah,
They're
calm
not.
down like you calm down.
Yeah, they will calm down for a minute and then they're gonna re-uncalm. I just made all that up.
Yeah.
I'm still reading the same 2 books because I added another book into it, so it slowed me down even more. Which is, I'm still reading the Occult Sciences, which I've made it further into it now because it's weird. It says like the white magic, the black magic, and it just goes into a whole bunch of different pieces. But it gives you a lot of really good background on some of the things that people talk about that we don't really go into detail about, like what are the sliffs and the salamanders and the undines and the gnomes, and it goes into some detail about that kind of stuff, which is cool. And you get more and more when you learn stuff like that, right? Why those aren't necessarily utilized in some pagan rituals, because they're not necessarily pagan.
What are they? Tell me.
None of your business. Read the
I
book.
don't know. What are they?
They're intelligences that represent and can only exist within that specific element.
Oh.
So you would never find an undine in Earth, or they would die.
Huh. Okay. Interesting.
And I'm also still reading the polyvagal theory, but that one is a really hard read. I get 2 pages at a time, then I have to think about it for like a year. And then I added the Harvard Business Review's How to Work Remotely to kind of help get some pointers for work for my team to see so that if they're working remotely, if you're working remotely, see, I don't do English well.
It's alright, neither do I.
And you were reading a really neat book. Of course, I can't remember. Let me
Yeah, which
find it.
one? There's been a lot.
I know. I have to go and find it, so I can ask you about it.
Well, the other question would
Have
be
a great
instead,
day.
what are you reading now or recently that was really good that you would recommend to somebody?
Right.
Right now, I am reading.
Oh, it's empty.
The Way of Fire and Ice by Ryan Smith, which is a radical Norse heathenism book. Yep, that one right there that he's got. I would definitely recommend that one to anybody who wants to get into following the Norse pantheon
Okay.
in a more like living tradition and not, oh, we have to do what the ancestors did this way and this way only. That book is more about making it a living, growing tradition instead of trying to just do what they did 1,000+ years ago, which of course is not possible.
Yeah, I can't remember the other term. They usually are categorized into Reconstructionism and
Yeah.
Revivalism.
Yes, that's more of a revivalist, but taking it even a little step further, as opposed to the hard Reconstructionism that a lot of heathens want to do. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we have a heathen worldview from. No, you don't. You live now. You don't live 1,000+ years ago. If you don't farm your land, you're not going to die of starvation.
Yeah, and I think that's probably a really good topic. Like, I think people judge. We need to add that to our list today. I think it would be a good topic because I've run into a lot of people that judge it. Well, because you're not following what we say the old ways are, yours isn't valid.
And they don't know. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Like, there's some literature, but most of that was written by Christian monks after the fact.
It
so
was too much.
you can definitely tell the Christian influence on the stories. And then there's the archaeological stuff, which is what I go by more now if I'm trying to reconstruct something, is the actual archaeological findings. But even those, they're few and far between in regards to actual like ritual practices.
And it's really hard to put them into the right perspective because we can only look at it from the perspective we have,
Exactly,
not one
like
that they have.
we're not living
Yeah.
back in that time. If I get a cut, I'm not gonna die of sepsis. I'm gonna go and get antibiotics, and
Right.
you know.
God, I can imagine like if you're doing stuff like hard working out in the fields, doing all this stuff. Were they really that worried about what I would think they'd be worried about, like getting a cut because it could kill them, or did they really have enough herbal and knowledge to say, you know what, they really weren't that afraid, which is my guess.
It depends, because you know stuff like that did kill people back then. And it depends on do you have those herbs handy or not is the other issue with
If
that
I have a
too.
good shaman, I better.
And like especially with the Norse traditions, like every tribe practiced in its own way anyway. So for one group to say you're not
Yeah.
doing it right goes against the basics of what they actually did back in those times.
Yeah.
An
The product of
interesting
what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
thing in the other book I'm reading about Santa Muerte is it's a lot about herbs and how people they would look at in these remote villages how a flower or plant looked, and like if one had thistles or something, it was meant to keep things out, or it could be. It's really interesting anyway how they went about how the plant looked, the shape and the colors. And I'd like to learn more about that too.
There was a lot in the ancient herbal ways of if a plant looked like a part of your body, it would help heal that part of your body.
Oh,
Oranges, walnuts,
like beans, like
Beans,
For
like
kidneys,
kidneys.
tomatoes were for the heart and stuff. So yeah, there was a lot of that kind of correspondence in old herbalism. Even now, they still use some of that stuff.
That's really cool, and they were probably like
I think
on track, or they wouldn't keep doing it right if
Yeah.
it didn't
Well,
help.
the other thing too, like I remember in high school in psychology class, we actually used an orange, and if you cut it a very specific way, it has the two hemispheres, it has the brain stem and all the pieces to it, so it teaches you the gross anatomy of the brain.
And then there are carrots for eyes, because when you cut it, it looks.
A little eyeball in the center.
Yeah.
Especially the colored ones, because they're like, you don't.
Yes.
I don't think. Well, probably. I don't even think it's probable. Carrots were not orange as they are right now.
No.
Like, we
Oh, they
selected
weren't.
those. They were probably what I think I read. They were diverged, likely with parsnips and some other
Yep.
things at a certain point, which I mean I don't know much about that, but
Were they like the colors of the little ones, like the white and the purple, like
There was a whole
plum?
diversity of colors. Like the way modern farming is, especially in America, they pick one crop and do that, whereas in countries that still have their seed banks of the various fruit, you get so much more colors, textures, tastes of the same vegetable and fruits, but they haven't gone in the monoculture cropping, so you have a lot more variety.
yeah,
Ooh.
I think that is neat. It's also kind of scary the way
Yeah.
that some of this stuff is, but food is food at this point.
Carrots were actually grown from wild carrots, and then
Can you find wild carrots around here?
I don't think so.
I know what they look like, but I get them confused also often for the other one that kills you.
Hemlock.
Hemlock, thank you.
I haven't seen wild carrot in this area. Like in northern Florida, I have, because they have a lot of the same herbs in northern Florida growing wild that you would more northward. But down this far
too
south,
far, maybe.
everything is so weird. Like I've had to try to completely relearn medicinal herbs, edible herbs for this part of Florida because it's so different from everywhere else. But the way to tell the difference between the hemlock and the wild carrot is the wild carrot in the white cluster will have one single dark purple flower in the middle.
The carrot will.
The carrot will. And then
And are they the little they're the little tiny ones. They're
well,
pretty
they have-
small.
The one in the center is,
Okay.
yes, but they have a big white cluster of flowers just like the hemlock, but the hemlock kind of
All
hangs over more a little bit and it's all white, and the stems of the hemlock have purple splotching.
That's easy to remember. Think of the hemlock can bruise.
Is hemlock
Because
bad
it
for
can
you?
kill
Do
you.
not
Yes.
don't even touch it.
Okay, don't
Yeah.
touch it.
You just touching it can poison you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ooh, no
I've-
good.
Yeah.
No good.
So I think what I saw was because there was a bunch of it in Georgia when I was there this week, and I was pretty sure. I think it did have the right purple flower. I don't remember, but it was all green stem, and
Yeah. If
it
it's
was
all,
very woody, like woodsy. Not well. It was relatively thick, tough.
Yeah, that could still be either, because sometimes the purpling on the
Makes me
stems
nervous.
of the hemlock is not.
Comes later, maybe, or
It's not strong.
So
Like, you
basically,
have to look, but
I need to wear gloves if I'm gonna potentially.
yeah,
decide.
The purple flower in the middle is the easiest way for me to remember. And if there's heavy purple splotching on the stem, obviously it's hemlock and not wild
I would
carrots.
have to look at that.
Can chihuahuas come out now?
Don't nag. They'll let them out when they're ready. You will see the chihuahuas.
Probably can let 1 or 2 out at a time.
Maybe Tina. She wanted to hold the big one, so it was just Tina.
Oh,
so
it's
Tina
definitely
can come
Tina.
out. I'll bring you Tina.
Like calm the other ones down too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to keep them locked up too long because they're gonna be,
Yeah.
and we got them a suite apparently. And the lady, they're like charging us per dog. I'm like, but the suite is what we're renting, right?
Right.
But anyway,
Like
Um,
fluff doll.
yeah. Let's see. Oh, Iris is fine. VG's really enjoying her time.
People.
I'm gonna see the chihuahua.
Okay.
Tinta. Recent podcast, obviously last night was canceled. Makeup is today. I doubt I will be on today's. I'm going to try to be because I will not be on Malice Experience next week. And I'm already missing one other month. Or one other week this month, so that'll be fun. Y'all have to deal with the noise, you know better, right? I mean, she makes noise for no reason, just because she
Because
can.
everybody else is making noise. If they're making noise, I gotta make noise too.
They're so funny. Try barking back at him. That's what Joy does.
Oh, I was gonna tell Brad, I seen a really good video on YouTube about how do you pronounce her name? Santa.
I say Santa Muerta. They
Santa
say it
Muerta.
wrong, but then I'll call her Saint Martha because that
Yeah.
pisses people off.
But I seen a really good. It was almost an hour-long video with a indigenous Mexican practitioner that works with her.
That'll be fun.
Puppers.
Oh, they got such attitudes. These chihuahuas.
Oh yeah, the little ones always have the biggest attitude.
I recognize that voice. That's Finn. So you guys know it'll calm down soon once they get acclimated for a few minutes. But sorry for the noise, but that is life.
It's alright, we're all used to it. We like to
Oh,
be
yeah.
puppers.
Oh yeah. Santa Muerta, yes. Shadow work is still ongoing. We are behind in shadow work because I've been work has been very, very busy. Leave him alone, honey. Give him a break.
If you see me, he's like, no! Straight people! Danger! Danger!
Maybe if I sit down, he'll settle down.
What was I saying? I forgot. Shadow work. Not really much to report on shadow work because we still have to do the episode, which may happen sometime this week. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, work
Does-
stuff has kind of come up lately, and
Well, I'm not big on. I'm not big on going out, like with work and stuff. Like when I'm in a hotel, when I'm at work, I just kind of stay put. But I really felt the need to kind of get out, and I said I was going to try to get out more when I'm in different states, so I did, and I'm not ready for it because they all are drinking and just having so much fun, and I'm just like, I'm gonna go to bed.
Alright.
So now I've got to like figure something else out because I'm tired all the time. But we will get shadow work going again and keep that up. And then the last thing we usually hit before we go video live is a couple of news topics.
yeah. So in Gelderland in the Netherlands, a Roman temple was discovered with female deities unearthed. And this was, let me bring up my...
It was a neat article. And by the way, just for the record, most of you guys, if you go to wildhunt.org, that's a good place to get some of these articles. There was another one, I forgot what it was. Maybe pagannews.com or something. I don't remember.
There we go.
While you're looking that up, does anybody need a drink? I'm going to go grab me a
The coffee
Diet
might
Pepsi.
be ready. So, archaeologists working at a clay extraction site in the village of Herwin, Hemmeling, I know I'm not saying that right probably, in Gelderland, Netherlands, have uncovered a temple complex where Roman soldiers once paid tribute to their gods. It was located in the borders of the province of modern Luxembourg and the southern Netherlands. And there were votive altars. Outside of a main temple, votive altars stood, and they were dedicated to different gods of the Roman pantheon. Archaeologists believe that high-ranking soldiers built those altars to fulfill sacred vows, and the soldiers would have come by from nearby border forts. So in modern pagan terms, this would have been like the altars would have been part of the ritual structure. I did see something pretty cool that I think it was in Canada. Pope Francis had started an apology tour to go to different tribal leaders and apologize for wrongdoings of the Catholic Church. And as part of that, he promised to do an investigation into the past. I don't know what exactly he could uncover about it, but I think it's a nice symbolic gesture that he has been meeting with some tribal elders and issuing apologies.
I know the tribal elders are calling for him to repeal the doctrine of discovery.
Oh, okay.
And they're not happy if he won't. Because that's what led to the whole wiping out of their peoples.
Oh, yeah. Cool. And you had something about cashews?
Yeah, this is not new news, but I did know this, and I wanted to share it because it came up on the articles today. That there's a lot of food that can kill you. Like we were just talking about the wild carrots. If you accidentally pull hemlock instead, not a good idea. But raw cashews also can kill you, especially if they're unprocessed, which I guess is kind of the definition of raw. So cashews contain urushiol, which is funny because that's actually a medication that's used to reduce biliary sludge. Very similar, but it can cause rashes. It's very similar to like poison ivy, poison oak that you can get, but if you eat it, it can kill you. So even if you're getting raw cashews, they've been processed at least once, which includes soaking for an extremely long time or cooking at very high heat. Cassava, I think a lot of people know cassava can do the same thing, and so can cherry, apricot, and peach pits. Now, that's what got me interested because we got a peach tree yesterday. I'm excited. We're starting to plant fruiting trees in our yard.
Yeah.
Because
Why not?
I'm a little nervous though because we had a flowering pear tree in Virginia and it would produce hundreds of pears to where we couldn't keep up with them. The pears would fall down and it would sink into the water because it was a really mushy area in Virginia, and it would ferment. And our dog would go out and get drunk, and then she got stung on the nose.
Keep your tree trimmed, and if lots of fruit comes in, more than you can deal with, pick it off when it's young, and then it'll put more energy into the ones that are left.
Okay.
We'll do that. Like, we're not green people. Like, we're not good at the
Not green thumb people.
I can identify things and uses of things from a knowledge standpoint, but practice-wise, I suck with plants. So we're trying slowly. I followed the instructions for the peach tree.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get, I think, a lemon and a orange, I think, with the other two, and just separate them out into the thing. And I'm going to go way into other stuff now. But in lieu of that, we're going to turn the video on and make sure our video is good. So I'm so excited because we have a new screen for our sound live, and then we have our video. Okay, so we might have to do some adjustments.
Yeah.
Look who it is!
Wait, hi.
Chihuahua.
That's Chihuahua.
I had to think for a minute. I know she said something. Which one was it? Chihuahua.
She's Chihuahua.
We might have to scoot over.
Hey, wait, fluff dog.
Maybe like this. Maybe scoot over.
How come Fluff Dog isn't in the video?
Do I stink?
She's too low.
Hmm?
Do I stink?
No, so we could all. Or not.
I don't know. I'll move over a little bit if y'all want to come in a little closer. That was
you go.
fun. As you can see, we have guests. And there's one guest hiding in the corner, which shall remain nameless unless that guest wishes to no longer. The back corner. We really could probably get a camera to go on both sides there. So, Heather and Chihuahua is what we're going to go with for now.
Hello.
I'm trying to catch a chihuahua.
Good luck.
Yeah, they're not being cooperative.
Where did? Oh. There's one. I
One.
heard the ears flopping. So we've got a couple of good topics today. I'm gonna hit them pretty quickly. I don't like being in the center. It's weird. I'm in the center at work. I don't want to be in the center. So I think probably the easiest thing to start with, we've been talking about forever, is Lunasaw. I know.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow technically, I guess, calendar-wise. I know Joy had mentioned a couple of things about why she feels it would be better served to do it on the 4th, 5th, or 6th, which makes sense. We've talked about it ad nauseum. But did want to bring it back up since it is tomorrow. And then after that is frickin' what's it called?
I think they would calm down if we took one out.
Yeah, no, they don't. Trust me.
What are you trying to come up with now?
What comes after Lunasaw?
The equinox.
Yeah, but what's the other name for it? I've done this for 20
Yeah.
years. I can't
I've done it for
remember.
almost 30 and I'm drawing a blank. It's Sunday morning. Brain is not working.
But yeah, so there will be Mabon. Is it Mabon?
Yes.
Yes.
I think. Yes.
It is the Mabon child. Good God, I'm losing my shit.
Sorry, we're all right there with you.
It could be worse, right? It could always be worse. Coming now from the newsroom. No, I'm just kidding. Somebody said something about news reporter. So I'm not going to go into a lot about all of that. Lunasaw and all of the different things that represents Lunasaw, because we've been doing that every week. The point is, I think that's most important for me is just because somebody says it has to be on the 1st doesn't mean it has to be on the 1st. Day before, day after, week after, our calendars do not match what everybody celebrated. I am not smart enough to judge it by the position of the stuff in the sky because that's what they would have done. So, what I will share is currently our sun is in Leo the Lion, which we talked about last week, which is a fixed fire planet. Zodiac. And then when it comes to our moon, we just had a new moon. 2 days ago? 27th or 28th? One of those. 28th. So we are now in the waxing phase of the moon. So this is all the building energy time, the creativity time, the move forward time, bring things up. So we have basically the sun in Leo fire, and the moon is in Virgo Earth. I should know all about Earth.
So it's volcano time.
It's volcano time. It is very easy for the Earth to form where the magma comes out for a volcano, but it's also very easy for Earth to smother fire, but it's also very easy for fire to scorch the Earth. So this is another one of those, you've got to really, really get that balance going, and really not taking any shortcuts this week. I think that's the big thing right now. If you use fire and earth energy to take shortcuts, or if you take shortcuts during fire and earth energy, that's when you tend to get the volcano exploding in your face, and that's not a fun place to be. So, good time to do so. This is good action time, but not good skipping steps or taking shortcut time. So that is going to be important.
Oh, excuse me.
She's gonna run from you.
Yeah.
She won't.
I don't think anything is other than that. Next full moon is August 12th. The next new moon is August 27th, 2 days before my birthday. And I want to see if I can share So apparently that didn't work. You couldn't hear me. So thank you for saying that. It wasn't muted. It's just the stupid Blue Yeti is not properly set up on those images. But anyway, so you didn't hear anything I said about those wonderful things. Gotta love it. So the three images that you saw just a moment ago were the James Webb Space Telescope's on the right side. That's that third image. Was talking about the resolution of how much they have improved over time. And basically what resolution does is just allows us to see further and further away. So it's kind of like looking at a little time capsule and going back and seeing how much more the telescopes can see now that we couldn't before. So I thought that was really cool. I'm not going to show the other picture because I don't want to go back on mute and create this thing. Although I probably could fix this real quick, right? All right, so now you should still be able to hear me. Look at that. It's magic. So I skipped a step.
Cool.
But yeah, so you have the an older telescope and then a newer one and then the really high one. And it's really, really, really cool to kind of see that process. So the James Webb Space Telescope really gives that detail on that resolution. So one of the things I thought was pretty cool. The other one was this one. Is this wormhole picture. I don't know how much of this is like adjusted
Can I try going around?
From like, you know, multiple pictures or what have you, but this was also taken with the James Webb Space Telescope. So that is the other one. We tried to show those last week, but again, we couldn't get it to work, and it was because I had like a 5-year-old version of OBS apparently. My mistake. But the thing I really wanted to share is this right here. And so I can't make it bigger from here because it's a little too far away, but this is chaossigil.com. And so I wanted to show this since we were talking about sigils. This actually will create sigils, and we talked about it last week and with the actual website.
Don't try to grab them. Just sit. You're gonna go in the pool in a second.
You have the that's funny. You have the option of the magic square, which is the one I showed you guys how to do last week, and then we had chaos star sigils, and just a ton of different ways to make things that you can utilize. You type in just underneath it what your broken down word is, which would be without the duplicates and without the vowels, if that's how you want to do it, or however you want to do it, doesn't matter. And then it'll give you the sigil, and you can actually download it as a picture. So pretty cool little system for sigil making if you want to have some help and checks on the things that you're making. And they do match. If you follow the 9 square, magic square, and then you use magic square sigils, it'll match. I think the Chaos Star ones are really cool too. Like that was one that I made, but you can type in your stuff there. So that was one of the things I wanted to show you guys.
Where can I put this?
And then that's that. That was the sigils thing I wanted to show last week that I couldn't, but we're doing better with technology, but worse at the same time. Isn't that just great? Isn't that how it usually goes? Yes. I just wanted to, I think that's called Trinary the Magic Web App is what it is called. And the Chaos Star uses a 9 points, I think, or 12 points. I think it's 12 points all the way around in a star, and you just, go around going from the letters the same way you do a magic square. I'll have to show that too. But of course, I also didn't consider that I don't have the keyboard in front of me to type in the words to show you guys. I'll get there one day, I promise. The other thing, that's actually all that's on my list.
Okay.
Can you help me catch the
Nope.
chihuahua?
But here's what I can do. What's something that you want to talk about?
Chihuahua?
Besides chihuahuas.
Chihuahuas isn't a bad thing. They're pretty magical.
They
Still
used to
wants
have
be
one.
friendly, but he's just nervous.
They used to have tall-looking chihuahuas they called Tachichi dogs.
Oh, that's right.
That were supposed to be very, where they came from in Mexico, people thought they were very magical.
Chihuahua.
Tachichi dogs.
They were Techichis.
And they looked like chihuahuas, but they had long legs.
Extendo chihuahua?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go gadget leg. Fiji.
It's just
Y'all are being so loud.
pet me, pet me.
She's been very loud the last couple of days just here.
Yeah.
That's not even people.
I think she must sense that something's going to change. They're going boarding for 3 days for
I thought
work.
you said
I
it was
know.
2.
2, 3, 2.5.
2 nights, 3 days.
2 nights. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
What? You can come say hi.
Look at Ira.
We won't hurt you.
That's Finn.
Says that thing, talk to me.
It made a sound. I'm scared.
I want to catch the one in the bookshelf.
Yeah, not gonna happen, is it?
She's.
Yeah, I don't want you going over there.
She's
There's
hiding
too
in a
much stuff
corner.
You can knock over.
Especially even me walking over there.
Mhm.
I've knocked like everything over like 3 times.
Too many electronics.
Yeah.
You get him.
The other thing spoke. I love Finn's bark. This is made by. What is it? Is it Misfit Playgrounds
Playland? Is it
or
Playland?
Wasteland? I don't want to mess it up because Brad threw the box away before I could check.
I thought it was ready to go out. Come here, Frank. Come here. You're going to have to go up, buddy.
But this was created by Joy's daughter, Lauren, and it is gorgeous. I love it. We are going to actually hang it in our hall by the ancestor altar where the dragons are. But yeah, it lights up. It's hard to see because it's bright, but it lights up. It's got some green and blue color to it with the mushrooms and the moss outside. So really, really neat thing that was made for us. I will try to get a website and pop that in there too so you guys can see that, where we got it from, because we would like to have some more business for her because it was really, really good. Any other big topics that you want to talk about that you had on your mind before I talk anything about tarot?
What
We're a
puppers?
little ahead of time, but we're still on time.
What puppers?
Or Heather, anything specific you guys have to share? I'm sure more stuff will come up as we talk, because that's usually how it goes.
Yeah, I could talk about herbs all day and such.
Herbs, yeah.
That is
So-
a good thing. We'll go back to that.
So yeah, randomly I came across something on Facebook, and I was kind of just looking at it because I hadn't heard of it, and I wondered if anybody else had. You know, I was reading. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to pick her up. I can't, baby. I love you, but I just can't. Come here.
I can pick up that dog.
Oh my goodness.
It's like, what's going on? You're taking my girlfriend.
Yeah. They're all his girlfriend.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, he's gonna talk about something he tried to explain to me earlier, but I don't remember what it was, so we'll wait for him.
Oh, yeah. Can you grab the chihuahua?
It's Sage, sweetie.
Every time I tried to say a word, she was just barking. With love and light, I moved her for a minute.
So we just put her to keep the other one's company, that's all.
Yeah. So I had been reading the beginning Luciferian magic, and it's interesting that Luciferian history and tradition, but
She will throw her whole weight
yeah,
against that door,
against
too.
the door, she'll be like a battering ram in a couple of minutes. But randomly,
Booger.
on Facebook, something popped up, a page or a link to a page for the Satanic Thulian Society, and I was reading about it, and it supposedly they were trying to go back to the pre-1975 Levian way of thinking, and they're arguing with the Church of Satan and what's the other one?
Satanic Temple.
That one.
That one?
About whether or not LaVey was an atheist and this and that, and they get into philosophical Satanism, and then theirs is actually, it seems like, more of a religion and a practice than just a thought or ideology. So I just was looking at that and wondered, had anybody heard of the Satanic Thulian Society, if I'm saying that correctly, Thulian.
Yeah, I don't see how else you would say it, and I've never heard of it before.
I haven't either. Heard of Church of Satan and Satanic Temple, but I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that.
Ben.
So it's apparently it's like in South Carolina is where this guy that's,
Trying to read his notes.
I guess, the head of it, and
Oh, you scared my chihuahua.
you know, it's in a central temple which they call a house. I think it's the Bone House or something. But anyway, it was interesting to come across that, and I just wonder if anybody heard about that.
Yeah, if you've heard it, type it in the chat. We want to hear more about it.
It is the
Because it's something I'd like to look into.
Satanic STS, Satanic Thulian Society. So what was interesting to me is to read more about, because they said it was more of like a religion or religious aspect instead of philosophical. So I kind of was like, well, what does that religion look like? Is it the opposite of, you know, what Catholicism and parts of Christianity were, or is it something else
Just
altogether
completely different.
that they
I'm always
do?
a little nervous about like societies and things like that because they tend to be
Yeah.
the ones like the Reconstruction versus Revivalists. That's where you
Yeah.
start getting into the purification and specificity to the level of like, you know, you're not real because you don't do da da da
You
da.
don't wear black robes at 8
Right.
o'clock on
Right.
a Saturday.
Yeah, exactly, and that stuff
Right.
that stuff's really frustrating to me because it just doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
That just frustrates me when people do that. I can disagree with you and like I don't like the way you practice and I think you're dumb. I might say that,
But it's your right to do
It's
what you
still your
want.
right to do it, and I'm not gonna joke you for it. I'm not gonna deride you for it. That kind of stuff. I think that's what people get.
And I'm kind of like Dragon Dancer, you know. How can we, unless we really have done research and know, how can we say that anybody's wrong? Because we can't really live like in that time, you know, in our modern world. I could see maybe if somebody's, you know, mocking it or clearly mocking it or something like that.
Yeah.
How do we know what?
Yeah, little Teresa was talking about having that same paranoia. I mean, it is true for me, but it ends up being an echo chamber for sure. Like, you know, I don't want anybody to agree with me or believe the same way as me or think the same way. I do want to be around like-minded people that are open to those things. That's kind of like as far as I get. And then that whole, like, when you stop that conversation, it's not good anymore. I'm not saying that's what this STS is. I don't know enough about it to say that. I'm just...
I don't
I've
know.
never heard of it before.
Yeah,
Because
that comes up when you talk about those things.
the one thing that really stood out to me is they are very against like abortion, like so maybe that's the religious part of them saying that, you know, the womb is and life created there
Which
is
is very
holy to
odd for
Satan.
a satanic society
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. So I just wonder, is this something like really new or something fake or, you
I
know?
like that.
It's Pine from next door. Pine sap.
Ooh.
That would explain the coughing.
He's allergic to pine.
Yeah. Oh.
You might want to step away from it.
Don't burn any more of-
We need to step out and have a smoke.
Yes, step away from the smoke to have smoke.
Yes, for the smoke that you're not allergic to.
Mm.
I'm just gonna step out front because she's got that.
I'm gonna
Okay.
keep trying with the chihuahua. That
Okay.
goes to me.
Okay.
Chihuahua
Okay.
has to do the
Okay, sweetie.
The Chihuahua Hua. Maybe I'm allergic to it too.
Oh
Shit.
gosh, yeah,
Too much.
that's
Well, it's just right in your face.
Yeah, sometimes when I put a little piece on, nothing happens, and I put a little piece on, it just like blows up in my face. That's the one thing that I think is really cool about trying to harvest your own sap. That's been fun. I want to get some cedar, but cedar doesn't like to bleed.
No.
That I can find.
You are better with the leaves of the cedar.
Oh, you
Yeah.
heard about Paranormal
We've had a couple
Witch?
of those too.
Yeah.
The little
That's-
sprigs.
Oh my god, that stuff goes up like gasoline. We had a neighbor cut down one of their red cedars
Uh-huh.
in their front yard, and we grabbed the whole thing and we put it in the fire, and it was still wet, and it went up like gasoline. It was impressive.
Sounds great.
When I was burning the patchouli for her, it like caught, it started a little fire. It was so weird. So I don't know if that's what that patchouli does,
I mean, it shouldn't.
but it
Although
like
it's very oily.
it lit like a flame. Yeah, it's oily, and it started like a fire.
Strong is it?
It's very strong. It's strong. I have had patchouli before, but never in like that. It's got a woodsier scent to it, which I like. A little bit less
That too.
perfumey. So it's
I
really
have-
nice.
A bottle of patchouli essential oil that's like 10 years old, and that's like one of the only essential oils that gets better with age. That stuff's amazing.
Oh,
That's my
I need
private
more.
stash of patchouli.
I need
Mm.
more. 11:24. Trying to think of what else. Anybody have any questions so far? Anything that you, I really do want to dig into herbs and stuff because that's something that I am having trouble with, but I'm also getting involved in recently. So I know there's lots and lots of schools and courses and things you can take on herbs, but I do, which are important I think and very valuable. But I also think going out and trying to identify. I use the plant identifier, and it's usually pretty good,
It's
but not always.
depending on which one you
Yeah.
use. It's about 90% accurate.
And if you get a good picture of a flower, it can give you a good answer. But if you don't, then it's it's
Yeah.
a little off.
If you have leaves that are very, specific to that plant, you can do it with the
Excuse me.
leaves. But
So like the thing for me is when I go out and I think this is where probably a beginner would mess up, which I would consider myself definitely like the earliest stage of a beginner. Knowledge not, but like actual procurement. So you go out and you say, let's say you find hemlock, and you want to harvest some hemlock because you want to use it for something, some baneful magic. First of all, don't burn it and breathe it.
no,
Not a
and
good idea.
Use gloves
And use gloves.
shears, and anything you use, wash with gloves on before you use it for anything else.
But what do you do with it after you pull it up? Do you pull it up with the roots? Do you cut the stems? Do you dry them?
It depends on what herb and what you're using it for. For hemlock, I would say just cut the stems and dry them in a well-ventilated, safe area and keep everybody away from it. Like even put it in a paper bag because that'll still allow the air to go through, but it won't get everywhere. For other stuff, you're gonna want more of the flowers or the roots or the stems. It all depends on what herb you're using.
That chihuahua was hard to catch.
Yes.
Most of them are.
Yeah, she's
Oh, there's Iris still over there. Which one are you trying to catch?
Finn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even catch Finn half the time.
And always label.
Label.
Label. Because you don't want to go into your herb collecting room and be like, okay, what is all of this? Is it hemlock or is it wild carrot? Now that it's dry and I can't tell the difference between anything.
That is hilarious. That's true. But I mean, I like, I really enjoy collecting sap from trees, but I will not create an opening for sap in a tree only if it's Around here, it's pretty easy because everything gets struck by lightning.
Yes.
So there's always a tree that's like, I mean, the one next door, I just have to make sure they're not home because I like walk into their yard and get like, in trouble. But I'll take the night, and I mean, it's just a huge chunk that big of just dried sap on the corner of it, and it works out perfectly. But then we go down and I'm picking up every single thing I can find. I take a picture of it and take it because I want to learn more about it. That's how all this stuff is getting on the table. And then like the mushrooms dried out pretty well without getting,
Yeah.
messy.
You gotta be careful with mushrooms.
Oh
Lots
yeah,
of them are toxic.
those. Thankfully, those are not. I had to get Joy to help me with that one. She talked to us, but I do not know mushrooms either. And mushrooms are also one that can be toxic by just touching. Generally, it's the underbelly. They say like this.
Actually, in the U.S.,
Like that
there's
part?
no mushroom that can poison you just by touching.
Okay, good.
Oh, good. Okay.
Other countries, that is not true. But here, there's no mushroom that will poison you just by touching.
Good.
Granted, wash your hands before you put them in your mouth, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but I know this. I don't know what kind of mushroom this is. I took a picture of it and did the whole thingy, but we were told it's edible. Not now.
no.
Try it.
And I will always double and triple check before you
Yeah.
eat anything.
Yeah, and we thankfully are not collecting those for now. I do want to get that thing now that we're speaking of mushrooms, which is random. I love mushrooms. I want to get that, like there's a box you can buy.
Oh, the grow kit.
Yeah. I just I have this thing where I don't like single-use items, so I don't know if it's something that you can propagate.
You can to a point, but you can reuse the kit if you get one of the good ones that's like the plastic bin and stuff and not just one of the bags. You can reuse the kit and just put more stuff in it after because the mushrooms will create more than one flush of mushrooms, but eventually they kind of peter out, and then you can just put more stuff and you can buy spore syringes on Amazon and stuff, and you can just inoculate your food with the spore syringes.
That would be fun.
Just make sure you keep them in the garage and not in the house.
The grass.
No spores.
Oh, yeah.
You can get
okay.
spore sickness if you try to grow mushrooms in your actual house. You want to keep them in the garage.
That makes sense. Yeah. So Dragon Dancer is good at crafts. Are you working on anything right now?
Not at the moment. I need to, but the last few weeks have just been so. Well, the last month really. We had the COVID, and then
Not just COVID, the COVID.
Yeah.
the Rona.
The Rona.
And then after that, like my mother went in for surgery a couple weeks ago on her knee, and we had appointments every day that week, and it's just been insane.
I'm working on something.
What are
She's
you working on?
something.
Fan mail for a YouTube channel I like.
Oh, cool.
Snake Discovery.
What
Well,
is
that
it?
sounds fun.
What is it about, or what are you looking at?
Snake reptile.
Okay.
They're an educational reptile channel. They actually have their own zoo up in, God, I can't remember if they're from Michigan or Wisconsin or
That'd be
one of
fun.
those places, but they have their own educational zoo that they just opened like 7 months ago. She loves their channel. I don't mind her watching that because it's all good.
Yeah.
I was thinking there was an article that popped up just today about snakes shedding snake skin. That was on the Wild Hunt.
Good.
It was a really good, what do you call it? Like just a discussion around snakes and shedding the skin and how it works. And actually found, I don't know what kind it is, but he was about that long, black
You
snake,
found a teeny one.
about that big in the backyard.
Did it have an orange ring on its
Uh-huh.
neck? It's a ring neck.
What does that do? Will it kill me?
No.
Okay.
That they only get about this big, and they
It was
eat,
so cute.
They eat insects and maybe baby lizards when they're full grown because they're so.
What, the ringnecks?
Ringnecks are some of our favorites. They're so adorable.
My
But
dad
the one
finally.
that you found looked
My-
like it was teeny.
It was this big.
Yeah.
It was a probably hatchling
Super
Florida
baby.
brown snake.
My
Oh.
dad was holding
Yeah,
it.
and he's terrified of snakes, but he held it for a
Oh.
second.
Me too. I don't like them.
You sound like a squeaky toy.
But yeah, the ringnecks are great to have. They're good for pest control of bugs and stuff.
Good. Yeah, I usually won't kill them as long as they won't hurt the dogs and stuff. Because VG will try to. She kills everything, and I have to keep her out.
I would suggest, which is what I tell everybody with Florida, because there's so many different kinds of snakes. We only have 4 venomous snakes in this area of Florida. Learn them and what they look like, and if it's not one of those, you're good.
Is one of them the coral snake?
Yes.
Yeah. We found
Can you like fluff out?
No.
we had a I think it was a king. Well, we're pretty sure it was a king snake because we were trying to compare the two together when we were clearing our land out, and I forgot how you remember the difference.
The easiest way?
Is it red on black or?
Red on yellow is toxic. But the easiest way is if it has a black nose, it's a coral. Because the patterns can differentiate in the species, and sometimes you'll find a king snake that looks like it's red on yellow, but the black nose for the coral, it's always black.
Yeah, and I know like that you can tell poison snakes usually by the shape of their face is
You
less
can.
round, right, and then the eyes. But I'm not getting close enough to
And
your
it's
eyes,
all
dude.
it's not true anyway. Like we're
Yeah.
actually doing a herpetology certification class right now that I have to finish,
That would be fun.
and it's like they say, oh, slit pupils, it's venomous. No, that means it hunts at night. Our ball python has slit pupils, or if it has a triangle head. But any snake
Hey, Doug. Good morning.
can flatten its head to look like a triangle when
Yeah.
it's threatened, so it doesn't. None of those identification factors really help.
Well, I'm pretty sure, and we don't know for sure because we're not gonna like. If the snake's not in my immediate area and causing
Yeah,
a
it's
threat,
not.
I'd leave it alone.
No, it's doing its job. It's hunting the pests.
Like I found the one yesterday when I was working out back doing yard work, and I just didn't want to mess with it. You know, just
Yeah.
let it do its thing. But I didn't. It was definitely a ringneck then.
Yeah. And you can just pick them up and they'll just pretend to be dead. And then you can just put it wherever.
Yeah,
Because
he
they're.
couldn't.
With
He,
hot nose.
I was going to name him Ostrich because we have some sand in that back corner. I was putting down, and he put his head in the sand, but left his whole body out. I'm like, dude, I can still see you.
Right. But he
And
doesn't
he
know
stopped
that.
moving completely. I'm like,
What was
He's
that?
pretending to be dead. That's what they
The
do
ring
when
snake?
they feel threatened.
and then in this back corner where I put the sand and dirt down,
Oh.
like I also have a whole bunch of palm fronds. So whenever they break down, I put them right there so they can slowly over time.
Yeah, compost.
Because she keeps digging a hole.
I'll
Oh,
open
yeah.
the gate tomorrow.
That's really interesting, little tree sap. Thanks for sharing that about your practice. That is cool. People have been sacrificing to trees, creating cosmologies from trees, using trees as portal for trance work. Cornerstone of my practice. That is really cool.
I would love to know more detail about that at some point. We'll have to have an after show discussion where we go into that. Little Tree Sap is talking about the importance of basically trees in her practice, so that is very cool.
Trees are very important in what I do too. I do the Norse eclectic with a very wide green witch streak.
Oh, it's Finn.
Finn?
It's like, what the hell? He licks feet.
Yeah.
Come here. Oh, I can't get him. But yeah, I don't know. People ask me like, what's my path or whatever. I always just say eclectic pagan because it's changed so much.
Oh, it does.
Over the years, and like now lately, interestingly, this is not something I've ever enjoyed before. Like, I basically told Brad when our because we had the lawn guy do our lawn because we're always at work. I'm tired. I don't want to deal with it. But the last month or two of me doing the yard work, that's all I want to do. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And get the tree. And now I'm thinking like we have a plan that we're going to do a stepped retainer wall because we're losing dirt in the back. Next to the pool, so we're gonna build a stepped wall down and hopefully plant some stuff, and then obviously the fruiting trees. If the peach tree will live, we have to be careful with it, because our whole sprinkler system is broken. It is what it is. But yeah, so that's. I've never said that trees were the like a cornerstone of my practice, but plants and being outside are, and for some reason the last time frame we've done maybe because of COVID and work, I don't know, but it's been less and less, and then I use it as an excuse. Like I totally use work as an excuse not to go out, not to be involved, because like I'm in some really cool states. I'm in Pennsylvania in the middle of the woods.
See, you said you wanted to get out.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to go to the bar and drink with the guys,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
to the park and go to the woods. And
The only thing
Heck
that has
yeah.
kept me from doing that is that like I have this little nerve about getting stuck somewhere I don't know. So I've got to get over that. And otherwise, like when we went out with the work people, we all went together, and but I think I gotta just
look on your phone, find a park close to where you are. And
Yeah.
just, you can walk there and walk
maybe
back.
not in New Jersey, but I will do that probably in
There's some
Pennsylvania.
gorgeous places in New Jersey.
There are,
But it depends on where you are.
I'm in the pretty part. Yeah.
A good rule of thumb when you're going into the woods, bring a knife.
See, that's hard for me too because I can't travel really well with one.
Yeah.
Here I have that. Like we have the machete, we have everything ready for like our land and stuff. We're prepped here, but can't take anything flying really.
I mean, My best advice would be bring a gun, but not a lot of people like guns.
Yeah, we're fine with that too. But again, we can do that here. But if
Yeah, not
I
flying.
fly every week.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about, and this is telling all my secrets, but I also, not as much lately, but I'm very involved in prepping. Like we have the go bags, we have the water filters, the salinity creators. Yeah, we might too. Have some of that. But so the other part of that is, if something were to happen, I might not be home.
Mm-hmm.
I might be in New Jersey or Delaware or. So now I'm thinking about one of two things. And I say I don't want to do like what do they call them? Safe deposit boxes, because that's just stupid. Like because that system will be broke.
Yep.
So now I'm thinking like I need to find little geolocators. I want to get a GPS.
The geocaching.
And just go out and coordinate something and dig a hole and bury something. And if it's gone, it's gone. But if it's not, it'll be present there for me.
See, when I was a truck driver, I actually had a plan, like if I were out in California or something, and all of a sudden, mass corona ejection happens,
How do you get back home?
how do you get back home?
Because I'm getting back home.
Which I had several contingency plans in my head of, okay, this is how I work, this is what I know. And my thing was, if I'm at a truck stop, just tear my truck apart, make myself a nice sled that I can carry behind me as I walk,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
throw
yeah.
the supplies on there, and scrounge what supplies I can get, and which ones I can't, I can hunt.
See, I've slowly switched. Like, if I'm home, I think we can sustain for a while. As a matter of fact, we may or may not also have additional alternative energy means, right? So, well, I mean, obviously we have the solar on the roof, but is what it is. That's not going to last. People are going to come and we're not going to be able to keep people off the roof at some point.
They'll
They're
tear
going to
it
tear it
down,
off.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if you
Of
know
course,
how
it's
to,
pointless because if you don't know how to install it, it ain't gonna do you any good
Yeah.
anyway.
if you know how to make a good Tesla coil
Yeah.
and have magnets, you can make your own electricity.
Yep. We have
That's cool.
we have our own like independent little backup solar stuff and things, and of course we can handle it if it's here. My favorite thing that I own that I just think is the coolest thing, and I don't care about sharing it because other people could use it, but it's and it's why we carry so much salt in our go bags and in our kits, because you put in a tablespoon of salt and then just put water in it, and it makes enough chlorine to treat 5 gallons of water with the sun. No batteries, nothing. Just put it out in the sun, put a little solar panel on it, and then you can pour that in your water, and your water will be safe. Might taste like shit. It'll be safe.
Just know you're in
No,
Florida and
that-
there's grapevines everywhere. If you need water, just cut one and it'll pour out.
That was actually
It's
a
true.
trick
Grapevine?
we, learned from the
Grapevines.
military.
So what? This is gonna be a topic. We have to do a prepping topic a couple of times because that's the fun stuff for me.
Chihuahua?
There is a vine here in this house, outside this house,
Can I hold it?
that smells so pungent. It has little orange flowers on it, little balloons, and they kind of like pop, and there's like nothing in them, and they smell so strong. The plant app just keeps saying it's garlic vine. I don't believe that. That does not make sense to me. But it smells not like garlic, but strong like garlic.
Have to see it.
I think it's the one out front. I'm going to show it to you because I really want to know what it is because it seems like it would have a use for something.
If I don't know what it is, I have several groups that will tell me what it is.
The plant, I use Plant It, which is usually pretty good. It's just,
She's nice.
my rock.
She's nice.
My rock identifier is almost always exact. Even the spheres, it'll tell me right, but the plant one, it's iffy.
I found Google Lens is actually really good. Sometimes it beats out the plant apps.
Oh. Oh.
Because the Google Lens will bring up multiple options.
Mm-hmm.
You just
And
like
then
image
you can
search
look
kind
and
of
see
thing.
which one matches it better. It doesn't always hit, but it tends to do pretty well.
I do the plant app mostly because it saves it and keeps track of it for me. The
One
pictures.
time,
Just do a screenshot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
one time it identified my
what
snail
was-
as a jellyfish.
Yeah, but
Really?
it was a bad
That's
picture.
funny.
It was
Well.
a bad picture.
They're kind of related, maybe.
No, it's just a really bad picture. The way I got the shell, it looked like the top of a jellyfish.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, that's funny.
I love this chihuahua's little feet.
He is such a. I like that Chihuahua. Well, I like all of my Chihuahuas, but he has built-in black eye. He's goth. We call him the goth G
He's a gosh.
because he has built-in black eyeliner, black lipstick, like everything. See?
You just need to get him like a little leather jacket.
Yeah, I think
Oh, that'd be cute.
You're gonna go to the school.
No.
You gotta go to the school.
Oh, they're gonna be so loud.
I'm taking you tonight. Yeah.
But yeah,
You're
no.
kinda heavy
The
for a
prepping thing
dog.
was big for me, but now I'm kind of switching to
Yeah.
the self-sustaining part of it. Got a good book called The Self-Sustaining Backyard that's very helpful. Trying to learn how to do that part of the stuff, and it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. We've been working on it for what, 2 years now? 3? And it's still not anywhere near where I want it. Because of course Florida is a different beast altogether than where I used to live.
If we were up north in New England, I could survive.
Oh, it'd be
like that.
Oh, that's the thing down here too. Like I'm learning the plants down here slowly because there's not a lot of information on South Florida stuff. Yes, I see. But like up north, I'd be no problem. But down here, I'm still learning. Can I eat this or will it kill me?
Yeah, I definitely want to learn more with that. I think I could probably survive for a while, but I wouldn't survive for extremely long. Like when my supplies ran out, I would start.
Get you some fishing gear.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would probably be the one that's like, y'all don't share this on the screen, but I'd probably be the one like, I don't know, try giving all my stuff away, and everybody else using it because I'm like, I don't know how to use this. I don't know how to do this. So I'm trying to learn more about like the self-sustaining part in Florida because, like, I probably could garden and grow food, but I don't know how to do it here.
And here's another thing you can do too is learn a skill that other people would find
Barter.
useful. Like me, I know
He already has a
carpentry,
useful
I know
skill.
blacksmithing.
That's what I rely on, but I don't know if I can trust it.
Yeah.
But no, you already have a
again,
useful
you
skill.
have medical skill,
Yeah.
don't you?
That's
Yeah.
gonna be
That right there is
that would
more
always be a
valuable
big
than
thing.
Anything I can come up with.
Yeah, I
Again,
still
it's,
loud as crap.
It's a thing in video games is you don't piss off your medic.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't make the healer mad.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, like
I love chihuahuas 'cause they're so small and they have.
I think
a
medical,
little
like I
bulge
definitely
in
would
them.
have some medical expertise, and I can MacGyver medical stuff pretty well. But I also don't want to have that as a. That can also be a very big negative too when it comes to being forced to do certain things depending on how everything goes. So I want to make sure I have more than one skill. Like I'm not
That's
gonna
always
let
a good
people know
idea.
that I don't know. You're not gonna know that medical is my field until because like oh well we need you and then gun your head fix my wife kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
me as a blacksmith, they're not gonna hold a gun to my head asking for a knife.
Takes too long.
It takes too
Yeah.
long, and well, if you need a knife, that gun probably doesn't have bullets in it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. But there's a lot of other things I think people would need blacksmithing for too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, gosh,
it's all
yeah.
going to be about finding, I think, the right group.
Yep.
But how do you find? And it's going to be chance. Some people are going to find the wrong group, and that's going to be the end of that.
Well, that's why you build community before it
Yeah.
happens.
In the beginning, it's going to be chaos and every man for himself, as it were,
Mm-hmm.
every person for themselves,
This
until you
chihuahua
start
is
grouping
bad.
up with
Yeah.
like-minded.
Oh yeah. No, we definitely have a plan, but I so worry about me being away when it happens.
And like I tell people, I'm not above, going into empty houses.
No. People are going to say they
Yeah.
are, but they're not when it comes down to it.
They're gonna say they're above eating people too, but they
Oh,
won't
yeah,
be
no,
when it
I-
comes down to it.
I would like
Yeah,
I would.
thighs, arms,
Yeah.
probably, but I think
I
that
would totally allow that.
I know how to butcher a human body. Just
Yeah.
I would totally allow that.
Yeah. Me too.
Paranormal
That
Witch
was a
said she
horrible
loves your tattoos,
oh, thank you.
and she asked, "Are you a metal fan? Do you mean metal music?"
Yes, I am a metal fan.
She is a metal fan. Yeah.
I like metal, not music.
So I've gotten into weird bands that don't speak English more of late.
Okay.
Why are your eyes watering, buddy?
Probably.
I
always.
have some lovely plants if you guys want cuttings and such that are
Ooh.
they don't look like food plants, but you can eat every part of them.
Oh, cool.
We would love that, but we need help with that
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Like,
Do you think the
So-
people that are
Are you
watching
talking about the
the Katuk, I got some of those gingers.
Hi,
and
Bubby.
such.
Oh.
Like we
that's cool.
we got a lot of plants last year, and we just didn't take care of them properly somehow, and we ended up killing them. Now the only thing we didn't kill is the tarragon. It took her
Do you
life of
think
its own, and
people
it's
who
growing
like
everywhere on its
dogs
own.
that are watching are excited that one of the guests is
Yes,
holding
I'm
the
sure
chihuahua?
they're loving the
Yes, everybody loves chihuahuas.
Yeah, the thing with Florida is if a label says full sun,
Chihuahua.
unless it's a Florida plant, it doesn't mean full sun here.
Oh.
Yeah.
'Cause our sun is so
Yeah.
different, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and
Florida
those
likes to
plants
kill all
are,
plants.
you know,
Yeah.
from other
Yeah.
places, and if it says full sun on that tag, they're talking like New England full sun, not
Yeah.
Florida full sun, where that.
That's a
will
good
just-
distinction.
Yes.
A-
Yeah.
A good way to think of it is put a plastic jug out, and in a couple days that plastic jug will fall apart
Yeah.
in Florida sun.
Oh yeah, we had a full like a black table, a
Yeah.
folding table. It
Mhm.
literally melted on our land.
Oh,
The
yeah.
one we had out there for the
Yeah.
it just melted. Like it was just legs when we went back.
Mhm.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I
Like
know.
the sun is so powerful here.
And I get to work in it all day long.
Oh god.
Thanks, little tree sap. Glad you stopped in. Be safe.
Yeah, I have a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff that I can either uproot
Have a
wholly
good
because
Sunday.
it's spreading,
See
which
you
is good,
later.
or that I can take cuttings of for you.
We would love that. So what our plan is, like I said, is out back behind our pool, the concrete slab. The slab is almost showing underneath, so we need to do a retention wall.
Mhm.
So we're gonna do a 1 foot retention wall there, and for nothing. That's just gonna be for retention. Then we're gonna go out another 2 or 3 feet, build another one, and have that as a flower bed of some sort, or plant that we want to plant, like tomatoes and blah 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 blah, food.
Hey, thank you.
And then we're also in the front. We're taking all the plants and stuff out of this one over here, and we're extending it, and making this also
Awesome.
a food garden because the dog. We obviously have to be careful. But we really want to do outside
Mhm.
stuff and start actually really growing things. It's been a pain.
Well, one tip: if you're gonna plant trees, do it now. Well, it's still raining.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's still raining because trying to plant them in the dry season is.
Well, I did one yesterday, which is the peach tree, which I think I did right.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll get a lemon or a tangelo and then
And I don't know which ones are the best. Like I know there's some trees that don't produce fruit for many years,
right.
Yes.
but I don't know which ones are like.
Usually, if you're buying a tree from a nursery, it's
Mhm.
gonna be quick. If you're trying to grow it from seed, it can take up to 10 years.
So we're getting like the ones we got from was Home Depot, so it's about 7 feet. tall.
Yeah, it should probably produce.
I
pretty
mean, we
soon.
could smell the peaches. We just didn't see any.
I'd recommend bananas
Bananas. Oh, cool.
I would love
Because-
bananas.
because
I would love that.
you can plant them in a circle with a little pit in the middle, and like just throw compost in the pit and then cover it over, and it'll fertilize them.
Oh.
And they only produce one batch of bananas, and then they die, but they grow pups. Like,
Okay.
And like we bought a banana tree, and I think I have 5 now from the same tree because it's put up runners, and those are a good kind of. You don't have to worry about them once they're in. Just water them, fertilize them every once in a while, and they're good to go.
I wonder where we would put that.
I wouldn't know.
That might be a good thing to do in your bigger retaining wall, because you could do a line of bananas because they do better together. You can't just have one; they won't grow. And then a lot of stuff in Florida needs shade, so your banana trees would be your built-in shade. Like that's what I'm trying to do is make a food
Okay.
forest, like a permaculture kind of thing.
That is
And
so
you need
cool.
to do your top layer first, your trees for the shade, because so many things in Florida need it.
And how tall do a banana do a?
It
how-
depends on the
oh,
type
do
you
a
get.
banana tree.
Depends on the type you get. Some of them
Huh.
will get like 7, 8 feet. Some of them only get 4 or 5.
I think 7 or 8 feet would be perfect because that's going to give us the privacy extra we need in the back
Yep.
too.
And again, that gives you your shade. And then you can do like a vine layer that'll grow up the trees. Do shrubs, and then you do your sweet potatoes.
You
Great
should
to
charge
down
for this
here.
kind of consulting.
I should.
You should.
But
We're
sweet,
going to use it for free for now, though.
yes, that's all right. We'll trade. We'll trade stuff. It's all good. Sweet potatoes are really good for down here because
We
you
love
can grow
that.
them all year round, and you can eat the greens too. Most people don't realize that, but the
Oh, I didn't
leaves
know
of
that
the
either.
sweet potato are edible. They're like a really nice spinach.
Oh.
So you can eat the
Okay.
leaves as long as you don't bare the plant to feed the sweet potatoes, but you can eat the leaves and you can grow them all year round.
Oh.
And there's different kinds, so you can get purple, you can get the orange, you can get the white. They're more like regular potatoes in
So we-
taste.
So we need tall banana,
Yes.
sweet potato. Sweet
And
pot.
Shrubs are good too. For
I definitely
down
want a
here.
lemon tree out front, but those are the fruiting trees will be out front. I think. Hopefully they can handle because their trees can handle the full sun.
Get Florida trees.
Okay.
Otherwise, they will need shade. But shrubs, you can get good shrubs for Florida too. Elderberry, if you have a wet area. I think there's actually elderberry growing right out behind your fence into that new
Okay.
construction. I'm pretty sure I seen a bush when I was here last time.
Oh well, those things have all gotten like 8 feet tall. So if you see one, I'm gonna go over there and pick it because they're not gonna.
We'll take a
Mow it.
look
Yeah.
after we're done here. Because those grow really easy from cuttings. And then you get the berries, and you can use the flowers
Yeah.
medicinally. There's so much stuff you can do, but again, Florida's just such a different creature.
So when you say Florida tree, is that if, for example, we have a peach tree? I know this peach tree does very well in Georgia. I mean, I'm trying to be funny, but they're Georgia peach trees.
Yeah, they should be okay. Just if you see it getting wilty after you put it in, you can use a shade cloth for a little while it acclimates to being in the full sun.
Yeah, it's wilty.
Yeah,
But it
probably
was
shade it for a
the
little
root
bit.
ball was so dry when we got it.
Did you spread it before you put it?
We did.
Okay.
We spread it a little bit, and I did mix half and half with new and old soil,
Yes. Okay.
and then we mulched on top of it to kind of keep.
Make sure the mulch is out from the base of the tree. Don't
Will
put
do.
it right up against the trunk;
Okay.
it'll kill it.
Okay.
You have to have like 6 inches around
We'll move
the
that.
trunk.
Remove that back.
I have made that mistake.
Yeah,
Maybe.
well, I'm about to, so we'll go fix that.
But yeah, I can help you with plants and herbs because that's been my thing for quite a while.
Yeah, and we've tried it before. We've tried an inside garden, like with the garden sage. And just we don't keep anything alive inside. And the reason
No.
we did inside is because Fiji. So we just are gonna have to set it up to where, like, I think what we'll end up having to do is probably getting some sort of maybe chain link fence or just something to build it up 2 to 3 feet. Because she doesn't usually get over stuff. If it's 3 feet tall, she's just like, it's not worth it. You know.
You can probably just get some if you want it to look nice too. They have like the cheap plastic picket fence panels you can get,
That's true too.
Oh yeah.
and then it doesn't look like crap and it keeps the dog out.
Yeah.
Or you plant thorny bushes in front of it, and she'll learn I don't want to go in there.
She might not learn that.
She might not because she's fluffy.
She
Doesn't
might-
work as well.
Yeah,
with
no.
fluffy
She's like,
dogs.
I don't feel nothing. It's not worth it. I don't care. But no, that's cool. Like, we definitely are. That's like our next step. Doug, thanks for stopping in. Glad you stopped in. Have fun. Be safe. But yeah, let's like we don't want to live off of our land because that's not going to happen in this small of an area. I don't think. Maybe in our 3 acres when we get out there and start doing stuff we could. But now is the time for us to like really start learning it. When to plant stuff, how to plant it, and for me it's so hard. I cannot, for some reason, I can't handle plants that don't propagate themselves. Like it makes me angry at Earth.
Well, you gotta realize too, half the reason why that doesn't happen with modern plants is because they've been GMO'd to shit.
Yeah.
Like,
So like the lemon tree, we would expect that to live as long as we live, probably, or a peach tree,
unless it gets that citrus disease in
or
Florida.
struck by lightning,
Yeah,
or
well,
you
that's
know,
Florida or
which
hurricanes.
hurricanes, yeah, all those things.
Yeah.
I can understand, but like the banana tree makes me nervous. But if it propagates
It
easy,
does.
then that works for me.
You don't even have to do anything. They send up pups, and then when they get to a certain size,
Hey,
you can
Noella.
cut
Cool.
them off and move them to wherever you want. Or you can, and always leave one where your original tree was. That way, when that tree fruits and dies, you have the next one. You don't even have to mess around. It's already there.
So when it dies, do you have to remove it?
It is best to, and then you can, like I said, you just chop it up and drop it right between the banana trees that you're growing. It'll
Becomes
feed
compost for
Yep,
them. Yeah,
feeds
I
them.
like that. That's like with the palm fronds. I know it doesn't look great, but I like collecting them in that area, and then I mean, that's where the snakes are living. That's where they're breaking down and stuff in that corner, and I want to keep that. So,
Yeah, because if you're gonna put in food trees, you're gonna want snakes around.
yeah.
Oh
Pests.
yeah.
Yeah. And I've never we did a couple of things. We've never really Fiji's the problem. Like she will kill anything that moves. So that makes me sad.
Yeah. Sure.
I have an idea though. I have a plan. I haven't talked to you about it yet even, but the part of that plan is we're fenced in all the way around, but I was thinking at the edge of our stuff we could probably do a fence and just give her that whole area over here and on the side.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? and then
where
have
she can kind of run.
and make this the garden side,
Oh,
or
that's a good
or
idea.
vice versa.
Because this side gets a lot of sun too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, putting in more trees and bushes will help you with her being able to kill things too, because things will have a place to hide.
Yeah.
That's true too. Yeah, she we have a tree here that flowers too, and it's either I don't know crabapple or cherry. I don't know how to tell the difference yet, but and I haven't even used my app for it. Never thought of it, but
I
it.
have to wait till it fruits, but
Yeah.
it kind of looks like it might be a cherry.
Well, it had fruit that to me looked exactly like a cherry.
I mean, it's not going to be northern cherry. It would be one of the tropical cherries because you can't grow northern cherries down here.
Yeah, it dropped a bunch of. Look like cherries to me, but
Yeah,
who
but they
knows?
do, but they're not the. If you don't wait till they're fully ripe, the tropical cherries are generally kind of tangy.
That's what also worries me about is with the fruits, fruiting trees and things like that is VG, because there are some fruits that I know can be like, if we get a peach and that peach drops and she will eat and chew that pit up.
Yeah.
Like, that's not safe for her, so we have to be very careful with that too. That's why we have no like the pothos plants. I really like those, but can't have those inside because
No.
she will eat the whole thing.
No, that's not. There's only like one lizard that eats those.
And those is what would be good for the aquariums,
Uh-huh.
right? Or the fish
Yes.
tanks.
Which
'cause
we've
it
done before. You can go right in the aquarium water.
filters all
Yeah.
the nitrates and ammonia and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, most of the stuff that I'll tell you about will be dog edible safe.
Oh, cool.
Good.
In case she gets into it. It's more like the stone fruits you have to worry about. Or, again, tomatoes and peppers have toxic leaves.
And
things
she would
like
eat them,
that.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, she eats the palm fronds.
But you can grow tomatoes and peppers in pots. So to keep her, you might just want to get like a planting, either a shelf, or you can get raised grow beds that she wouldn't be able to get into that you
Well,
could do those in.
The tomatoes and because I love we've grown peppers before. That's one thing we did grow. I got 3 peppers out of it, and then it died because I didn't pay attention. But those are things that we were thinking, because there's a little shade here. We were thinking about putting like tomatoes and stuff right here as part of this flower bed that we're going to extend. So
She doesn't go out there.
she does not go out front.
Everglades tomatoes will grow year round down here. They're small. They're like salad
I love
tomatoes.
small.
Oh, cool.
But they keep growing and they reseed prolifically. Like you don't have to do anything with them. Once you have an established plant that roots, you'll have them for the rest of your life.
Everglades.
Yeah, and then the little peppers that they use for pepperoncinis. That's the other one that I really like.
I'd love to grow bell peppers, but I don't know how they would.
Those are winter-ish
Winter.
plant down here. Most of the stuff that you would grow in the summer up north is winter down here.
So let's say
Oh,
this. This is
gotcha.
something I don't know, and then are we going to have to switch? It's arrow. But peppers, plants that you say like grow in the winter, right? If it grows in the winter, that obviously means you plant at a specific time so that it grows to a point where it is,
Yes.
you know, during our winter. What do you do after that?
Peppers, if you take care of them right, will actually live for years down here.
The plant will live, continue
plant
to live.
will
It just
live.
will only fruit and
No, it'll well, yeah, it'll fruit in its season, but the plant will live. There's people down here that have like 10-year-old pepper plants.
Wow.
Okay. I would do bell peppers. That's another one. I want the peppers though, like the peppercini peppers too.
Oh, any kind of peppers does well in Florida as long as you grow them the right way. Partial shade, water.
So that would definitely be one on the side, probably, because we'd have to find somewhere with
Well,
shade.
those would have to be up front.
Oh, because the leaves.
The dogs, yeah.
We'd have to create some kind of shade up there.
'Cause
the sun
originally-
just hits.
Our original plan was just wildflowers over here because I want to do a wildflower garden, which we can do anywhere. So we can set that somewhere else. That can be a different part of what we do.
And you can put them in with your vegetables, which is a good idea because it attracts the pollinators, and then you get better.
Oh, I didn't even
veggies.
think about that. Because like I don't want to. I'm not going to go in and weed every week like my family used to do when they're kids. We always had gardens, but I'm not going to go in and weed the garden. I want
No, I
flowers to
yeah,
grow. I want pollination. I want bees.
There's a bunch of flowers that are native that spread, and they'll cover your area so you don't have to weed. Like blanket flower is a really good one.
I want a whole flower bed of dandelions too.
They don't grow down here.
I know that's what I heard.
Oh.
I've
You
tried.
don't ever see them.
I have tried multiple times. You have to have like an indoor climate controlled growing setup for them to grow them down here. They do not. They'll grow in northern
Fun.
Florida a bit, but they don't grow this far south.
What was the other one? think that was it. But we're like I said, we wanted to extend this front area. This part, close house would be shade half the time, and then anything that's full sun, we'd have to do a little bit further out. So.
Well, the Everglades tomatoes will do good in full sun, and they climb, so you can trellis them to be your shade for other plants.
Oh, cool.
So we could plant that one the furthest out in this little bed, and then trellis them up so they could shade towards this way. It would hide this window, which I'm fine with. I like that idea.
Cool.
If you want pumpkins, Seminole pumpkins.
Oh,
love
pumpkins. That would be cool.
Seminole pumpkins grow really well down here. Other pumpkins not so much, but because they're a Florida pumpkin.
All these down. Seminole pumpkin.
And then I have a whole collection of seeds that I got that are for the heat. I didn't get to planting this year because it was too crazy, but I got like Egyptian spinach and
Sounds fun.
yeah, all sorts of hot weather plants.
Hot weather. I like that, but our biggest thing has always been, how do we work it around the animals? Like that's always gonna be a thing because
Oh, I get that.
they will be out. Yeah,
I get
they'll
it.
be outside forever, and we're not against either setting up like
I love that Noella beef farming.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. I would be willing to rent a beehive at some point and house it, but it'd have to be out front.
Or put it on your 3 acres.
Or yeah, out there.
Because usually when you're renting the beehives, they have programs where the beekeepers, they come out and do all the work. You're just providing the land, and then you like split the honey at the end of it.
I like that. The only reason we're not doing more at the land is because it's an hour and a half away.
Yes.
Which we need to do more out there. Where it
Good
gets,
Where is it?
Clewiston. So it's a good little hike. It's we just need to clean it up too because we never cleaned it up after Yule 2020. Maybe even 2019. So there's a lot of trash that we need to still go out and the melted table's still out there. And we had the big overhang caved in, all that stuff. So we need to clean it out. I love sunflowers. Do sunflowers grow?
Sunflowers do amazing in Florida.
See, that's I don't know how much we're allowed to do, but that's something I'd love to have, like just sunflowers across the front yard.
I don't think you would have a problem with sunflowers.
I have to try that. I love sunflower seeds.
And you can always get the mini ones if you're afraid if they're too big they'll cause trouble. They have ones that only get about yay high. But
Oh
they're
no, I
still
want the
really
big ones. I don't, and the only thing I don't care about anybody else either.
I don't see why sunflowers would be an issue
I
anyway.
have to do that.
I mean, usually as long as you're making stuff look good, you don't get too much of a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. I was thinking about the trellis. That'd be very pretty, like right out this window. And it's the direction of fire. Even though they're very watery. But so it's 12 o'clock. We usually switch to our tarot. Tarot. Do you want to pull tarot cards?
I will pull a tarot card.
All right. Any specific deck you want? Oh shit.
Oh, how about something dragony or something green
Do you want me to
related?
fetch a dragon one?
Yes, fetch
Which
a
one?
dragon one.
Would they be
I don't
over
think
here?
there's green witch and stuff like over here, but
There's
the dragon.
Wizards tarot.
But the dragon one is in my office.
Okay. Dragon.
If you're looking at my computer, it's the back left. There's 2 or 3 dragon ones I think back there. There's the garden dragon, oracle,
Ooh,
couple of
garden
them.
dragon sounds good.
Garden
Yeah.
dragon.
It's a good. It's an
That may
oracle,
be the
but
garden dragon.
it's cute. And then let's see if I can. Oh, look how bad that is. I hate being a Virgo. Like, it really pisses me off.
I'm a Taurus.
That has to be even. I don't know how he just. There we go. I had it all
There.
perfect before.
Well, there've been dogs
Oh.
and children too.
Oh no, it's him.
It's him.
It's him.
It's him.
For sure.
He doesn't care.
For sure.
See, it being a little crooked won't bother me, but if it's way off kilter, then not so good.
Yeah, I can't handle it. Alright, so what you guys are looking at right here is the Tarot of Shadow, Light and Shadow by Matthews.
Huh?
But let's go ahead and take while Brad is grabbing his a couple of decks. What who is still in the chat? I know it's a quiet chat today. But who is in and who would like a couple of cards pulled? I don't know why I said it that way. I'm gonna figure that out.
It's okay. I'm sure they don't care.
Who wants a card? If nobody wants a card, we will do general reading. Did you find it? That is one of my favorite dragon decks too.
So here's Garden Dragons, Tarot of Dragons, and Celtic Dragon. Yeah. Any of those look good too.
Like
dragons.
the Guardian Dragon.
Me and Willow. Noella and Willow it is. And since it's just the two of you at this point, we will...
Get it going.
You'll end
and
up
then-
getting 3 cards.
And then I will go do my stuff.
Alright, so we have the Tarot of Light and Shadow. And I'm utilizing this with Rook because... Do you want to do the light or the shadow?
Guess I'll do the light.
Okay. Because this is a new deck and I wanted to utilize it. And it looks fun.
Okay, let's see.
Fun,
if
fun.
it's all in order. Yeah, so let's shuffle them.
So we're going to have to shuffle.
Oh yes, we'll have to.
Shuffle.
then we'll-
Yeah, Willow better be there still. Willow, where are you? I know she said she had her in-laws visiting this time.
Oh, okay. Ooh, ooh.
Or ex-in-laws, I can't remember.
Somebody.
Granny Ma and Granny Pa.
There's people. There's people.
How's the job going, Willow? I meant to text you and check in and
You're a
see
bad
how you're liking it. I know I was bad this week.
Because he did not text her like he
I
said
didn't
he
reach
would.
out to Willow. I didn't reach out to my mom, who's recovering from COVID. I need to call them.
Yeah.
I've been a bad friend and son this week.
Yeah, and I had to do the peach tree all by myself.
Now, you didn't have to do that. I appreciate that you did, but you were impatient to wait on me to get home, I think.
No.
Or were you just being nice?
I was trying to be nice, but
Oh.
screw you.
That's nice.
So, Noella, we will hook you up first. Do you have a question you would like to ask?
Oh, you're a veterinarian. And I don't eat meat because I'm a veterinarian. Do you remember that commercial?
I sure do.
I have no idea.
No.
That is an old
I
one.
am very confused right now.
A very old question. Commercial.
I don't even know who it was for. I don't eat meat
It's like
'cause I'm a veterinarian.
dating site or something, and she's twirling her hair like, I don't eat meat because I'm a veterinarian. Silly. Silliness.
Oh, this
Was-
is good. I can get on with my stuff.
Yeah, my next project is going to be this
Kinda
French
cool
drain
place.
off to the side here and getting all these rocks out of these. I hate rocks in the garden. It's just I don't like them.
I like big, I have big crystal chunks.
Oh, yeah.
Or but the
Or
little,
even like huge river stones. And
Yes,
I would love that. But
yes.
these little stones that they're so ugly
I
to me.
only use those small stones. Like I have a butterfly water feature that the butterflies and the bees can go to, and I put little stones around that. But that's about it.
I can see that.
I don't like they get in the dirt, especially down here, and then you
Yep.
can't do any. The people who had the house before us had those stones. All it took forever to try to get most of them out, so we could plant in there.
So Noelle asked for a general read. Who wants to do the first card? Which I never
I
mind.
think dragon.
Yeah, I don't know this one here.
This is for Noella,
Noella in general.
who's on vacation.
Is she really?
Yeah, she is.
Okay, so let's see what she's got. The dragon fruit dragon.
Ooh.
Defense.
That's-
I love dragon fruit.
I only like it in things. Of course, this is not like in any kind of numerical
Oh
order.
gosh, I
It is
hate
not.
when they're not.
It should be alphabetical, I think.
Is it coffee dragon?
Mm-hmm. I need the coffee dragon. Noella,
here we
Noella,
go.
Noella.
Do you want to stick the card
Oh,
over
yeah.
so she can
Yeah.
see it?
Yeah.
The dragon fruit dragon defense.
Alright, Noella, so you got the dragon fruit dragon defense. And this says appearance. This unusual but lovely scarlet and white creature bears sharp green thorns on each plate of its scaly armor. The wings look almost tattered, but those frills serve as protection from the dragon's chosen habitat, the cacti. The thaw club on the wings serves as piercers. They poke tiny holes into the cactus leaves so the dragon can delicately sip the liquid. Habitat. This dragon is found in arid habitats where cactuses flourish. This reptile does not do well in humid, moist areas. They are prone to a fungal skin infection that shows up as brown spots. The dragon garden dragon prefers sunny days and dry, dusty locales. Field notes. This dragon has a slightly sour smell, which some people find offensive, but once you become used to it, you may find it refreshing. It is an acquired taste. Originally, this dragon was only found in Mexico, but has since migrated to places as far away as Australia. Mystical meaning. The garden dragon the dragon garden dragon reminds you to not judge a fruit or a dragon by its cover. Often a thorny plant or person is only protecting their softer side. Know that sometimes people layer their defenses, which means you have to peel each one away. Be gentle with those who seem to make you jump through hoops to get to know them. Their outer scars are there for a reason. You have to decide if you want to spend the time working your way past each of their guardians at each of those gates.
Aww.
Are you an acquired taste, Noella?
Or are you trying to make a relationship with somebody who is?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
They're playing. Oh, she's a hoot. You're next.
Me?
Yep. Because I have the dark.
Oh, okay.
Unless you want me to go out mine.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. They're nuts.
Oh, my dog will do that sometimes. She gets so crazy, she just starts spinning around in a circle and then
Ooh.
jumping over all the furniture.
Remember, this is light. So from the light side of the John Matthews and Andrea Aste Light and Shadow Tarot,
I pulled for you the moon. So again, I wonder if I could tell, are you forming a friendship or relationship that you're having to take the time with to go off of her? Do things to go off of dragon dancers? Is it, are there some thorns you have to look under, pay attention to? What could be hidden? Pay attention to things that come up in your unconscious, subconscious, your thoughts about a person or new relationship. Could be business, although I know you're on vacation. Pay attention to those things that seem to creep up in your mind that are like, "Psst, psst, 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 psst. Wait, what is this? What is this? You know, do I like this? Can I really deal with this?" And too many of those can I really deal with are probably just not the best thing, maybe. That's a neat moon card. It looks Egyptian.
I'm interestingly getting something very weird with
Okay.
Noella, that this is related to somebody that's in her life right now.
Okay.
Because the King of Wands has shown up on your shadow side. So this is, to me, kind of saying this. There's this person of strength and creativity and some, I don't want to say ominousity. What's the word when, you know, the dark and brooding person, right? But it's really a projection. She's going to rip that door off the hinges. But it's really a projection of yourself onto this other person, because you are afraid to allow your own creativity to grow to the power that it really needs to. So the King of Wands is very, very sure of himself or herself, because herself can be a king just as much. So very, very sure of themselves and their ability to create and master things that are transformative in our lives. but you're not seeing that for yourself, and you're projecting that onto somebody else right now. So look at the other person. Find somebody in your life that is probably a male that you just don't like. And I know this sounds weird, but find somebody you just don't like, and you're like, it's like, I really don't like blah blah, and then find out why, because that is going to tell you what part of your shadow you are projecting onto that other person, which is related to this creativeness that you are holding back. And I only know that because I do the same thing. Shit. Give me that card back. So pay attention to like Rook said with the moon. You're paying attention to that light side and all those things that your mind is trying to tell you, but you also need to look at what is behind and what is going on.
Or like, ooh, that really annoys me. You
yeah,
know, those kind of things. And why are you annoyed?
It doesn't have to be. I guess I really shouldn't have said somebody you don't like. It's just
Right.
somebody that has something that really just irritates the piss out of you. There's a lot of people I like that irritate the piss out of me.
Just checking to see if you were going to look at me.
I was thinking it, but since you said it,
You thought it too loudly.
thought it too loud.
Yeah, I picked up.
All
on
right,
it.
so Willow, if you're available, do you have a question or a general read? Okay, if you're good.
I saw Willow talking to Noella. I'm gonna start calling Noella No. I like that for her.
Nonella.
Nonella. I like that as a nickname for her. Nonella.
We're waiting for Willow to see if she responds.
Yes, she's here. Have you got a specific question? Specifics? Or you just like to know what's generally going on? You can't leave me alone. See, Mr. Clefton, that
He was doing a weird accent earlier.
Oh, was
so,
he?
yeah,
Okay.
it's like some Romanian Dracula thing going on.
I want to know if I'm going to pass my test. Oh. Okay. You want to know? All right. You want to know if you're going to pass your test. Let's see. What say the cards? Is Paranormal Witch going to pass her test?
You know, I wish I'd brought my Plant Spirit cards because they have answers that are just flat out yes or no.
Oh, cool. They're not as ambiguous or...
Well, some of them are, but some of them are flat out yes, no.
Okay.
I have to bring those.
Is Paranormal Witch going to pass her test? You know, with everything going on, don't feel bad. It's easy for me to say, but I've been there. Don't feel bad about failing the test. Look, you just started your job, and probably that's taken a lot of focus and time, especially with the kids and everything. So we'll see what our cards say.
Well, for her, I got Potato Dragon, which is support.
Oh, I like potatoes.
Okay, Potato Dragon.
Have a chi.
Hey, Tina.
Okay, so
Cute.
you got Potato Dragon, which is support. Appearance. Brown is the most common coloration of the Potato Dragon, but there are other varieties such as a blue, a yellow, and a purple. Researchers theorize that these variations might be due to climate, as this lizard can be found in nearly every part of the world. The tail is the key identifier of all potato dragons. Regardless of size and color, the tail will be a lumpy shape that supports spines similar to the ones on the head and back. The face of this dragon appears to be smiling due to the rather wide hinge of the jaw. Habitat. Watch for this animal where you see mounds of dirt. Often those hills will have vining plants with white flowers. Fresh dirt will mark an active burrow. Climate preferences are hard to determine as this hardy creature is at home in so many places. Moisture does have an effect on size, with larger dragons appearing where there is plentiful rain. Field note. This smallish dragon has webbed wings but cannot fly. A favorite food of the potato dragon is the earthworm, so if you want to attract this little dragon, encourage earthworms to visit your garden. At one time, the Irish variety of this creature nearly went extinct due to climate issues. Potato man.
Uh-huh.
Mystical meaning. This card reminds you to honor those who nourish and uphold you. If you feel like you're not receiving that supportive energy, take this as a reminder that you do deserve aid from others. You are also being asked to see where you can bolster others who need your own brand of courage. Now is the time to get down to basics. How are you cultivated and how are you sustained?
Rook's throwing cards on the floor.
And Rook's throwing cards on the floor. So in regards to whether or not you pass your test, I'm thinking this is, find people to encourage and support you while you're going through your studies. Maybe a study buddy.
Yes, and if there's any way I can help, if there's questions or stuff, we can go over on Discord or over the phone. I'm happy to.
We can be your
quiz
potato
you.
dragon.
Yes.
I can be your potato dragon and quiz you over the topics, and if that would help before you take your next one.
Hey, Melvin. Welcome in.
Melvin in the house.
Woo woo. Wooty wooty.
All right, Miss Willow. Let's see. Okay, let's see how you want it to.
Lots of wands.
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 I can't say that word.
You just did. Congratulations.
Ah. Okay, in your program, is there a instructor or mentor that you've come in contact with? Could be a counselor or someone like that. I'm showing that you need to look to someone. It could be a teacher or a counselor.
No Dex.
For,
I took them away. I did.
for the extra support in your pursuit
I know, that's why I'm
to
moving.
pass this test, and to lean on them. If someone is coming into your space or your life that's offered some help or some guidance or suggestions, take it. Listen to them, because they're going to help you be successful in passing the test.
Hey. Hush it. Tuna, why are you barking all of a sudden? Little
It's got doggy support.
guys,
They're all
Yeah,
rooting for
doggy
her.
support.
doggy potatoes. Oh,
Well,
hush,
Tyler
Iris.
wants me to pick her up, but then she
Willow, so I've got you as wands, one of wands, which is another fire card to add to the whole list here.
Oh, cool! Your principal. Whoop whoop. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Ones, oh my god. Ones represent, and I've talked about this recently. Traditionally, new beginnings, new starts, things are beginning to take shape and to become something else. But they also represent the full energy of the entire suit that they're in. So your one of wands, your ace of wands, isn't just new beginnings. It's the new beginning, the new middle, and the new end. So this is basically saying that while you may stand and feel by yourself every once in a while when this energy is coming through, you really do have the support of a lot of people, because we're embodying all of the fire, all of the energy of that one of wands. So the wand, if used in ritual, it is the directing of the energy. So it takes your finger, which is also able to direct energy.
Did you like
We'll be back in a moment.
I'm very intimidated.
Huh?
Fear for my life.
Yeah, it's terrifying, isn't it? These guys are nuts. So what I was saying was, you know, the wand itself is something that's utilized to extend energy or direct energy in ritual, right? Just kind of like your finger is the directed energy. So it's not a requirement. The tool isn't necessary, but it does allow you to have a little bit more control over where and what the energy is. So if you use your potato dragon for support, and you use your Knight of Wands that Rook pulled to kind of utilize the other people in your immediate space to help you study and help you work through it, then the One of Wands will say you've got the full power and ability to not just pass the test, but get to the end result, which is what the test means to you after it's done. So that is where we are looking at for you, Willow. Hopefully that makes sense. And yes, the animals absolutely 100% are cheering you on and keeping you going. That is a lot of fire chihuahua energy there. I love it.
It's a nice, cool Samoyed energy to keep you on the level.
Some nice Sammy balance. So we obviously wanted to go a little bit slower on our reads this time because we have just the two of you guys in here watching through, listening through that. So we appreciate you hanging out.
And can we put up our...
That is the Demon Fin.
Our full
We
screen?
can. I'm getting there. So we do have things that we've got to get ready today for travel and all that stuff. So there's a few other things that we need to go on. Let me see if I can get it. All right. So there we go. So we have added our little creator piece at the end. Vigi, please.
Can you all see that?
Every time she barks, it sends the microphone into the max. I know it's got to sound like shit on the other end.
Yes, the Demon Fin.
The Demon Fin.
Hey, can y'all see this screen before I start reading it?
You know this isn't like a Zoom meeting, right? That's.
Are you sharing your screen?
Yes, I think so. Well, we can't see it.
Please check out all the awesome creators, witches, and wonderfuls. Addie Estate on Twitch and Instagram. Mr. Malice on YouTube. Addie Estate on Facebook and Twitter. Steph from the Cauldron Witch on Instagram and from the Cauldron Witch Tarot on Instagram. She's going live today.
2:30 our time, Eastern.
2:30 our time, but 11:30 California time. Paranormal Witch on YouTube and Lady Rose 819 on Instagram. Unexplained Possibilities on YouTube and Unexplained Possibilities on Instagram. Ziggy Dreadful on Twitch. Mavethel on Twitch. And we are Two Pondering Pagans, which is our YouTube and Facebook. Two Pondering Pagans on Twitter. I'm Rook Tempest. That's my YouTube, although I don't have anything on my personal YouTube yet. And Rook_Tempest on Instagram. Mystic is Mystic Salann, MYSTIC SALANN on Twitch. And Salann Talwin, TALMHAINN on YouTube.
That is correct. And Heather, if you want to, where
Yes.
would people be able to reach you on social media?
Can we add you on
If you have
our
any.
list?
I'm working on one.
Working on it, in progress. Well, you have to let us know when you do, and we'll
I
post it
will.
up there.
Yes.
So yeah, and I think that's it for today. Normally we kind of just let it roll and kind of go on to it, but I know I want to go outside and hang out a little bit outside.
Yeah.
And do a couple things before we have to get the work rolling and get these doggos to the place-o.
And I've got to go do a couple things after hanging out a little bit. To get that I did not do yesterday.
So, all right. Well, we appreciate you guys checking in and hanging out today, and thank you, Heather, for coming and visiting.
Yes. Dragon
You're
Dancer.
always here, and Demon Finn is always making his noise.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You guys have a wonderful week, a great rest of the day, and check out From the Cauldron Witch Tarot on Instagram, which she goes live at 11:30 California time. It's 2:30 Eastern.
All right. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.